Valley View 40 Twin Classic comes with everything you see here. When I first saw the price of this engine, I thought something here would have to be purchased separately, but nope, it all comes in a box. And it's all good stuff. A big new feature of this motor is the CNC crankcase. CNC parts do look prettier, but that's not the important part. The accuracy of CNC machining means that all of the parts, like the crankshaft and bearings, are better aligned, and that reduces drag, wear, and heat. The prop bolts and the pattern are common to 55cc engines, and they provide twin bolt patterns so you can position a prop more accurately. The Valley View 40 Twin Classic is surprisingly compact. Using quarter-inch spark plugs mounted at an angle, we get an overall distance between the plug caps at 8 inches, and that makes this engine fit a lot more 30cc cowls. Also included are these 30mm standoffs and related hardware. I like that they include blind nuts for the back of the firewall. There's no mystery to mounting this engine. With those standoffs, we wind up with a prop washer to firewall distance of 160mm that fits a whole bunch of airplanes. And I really like that they include a Walbro carburetor with this engine. Walbro carbs are simply the best there is. The Walbro carb on this engine came out of the box almost perfectly dialed in. I richened both screws about the width of a screwdriver blade just to be sure. Also included is the RCXL ignition, that again is usually an aftermarket part. My experience with the RCXL ignitions is that you install them and forget them, because I never had a problem with them. This ignition is small enough that finding a place to put it inside a cowl isn't difficult. The can-style mufflers are compact but effective and make cutting the cowl a lot easier. I had these silicone extensions just to get the exhaust a little farther from the fuselage. All of these features add up to an engine that's easy to stuff inside a cowl, and still have a cowl that looks like a cowl. Of course, the most important thing about the Valley View RC Twin 40 Classic is how it performs in the air. And as I've come to expect from Valley View RC stuff, that wasn't a problem at all. Right out of the box, the throttle response was great. Through all of the flights I've done with the RV4, this engine has run like a clock. I made that one very small carb adjustment just to be sure that I described earlier and haven't touched it since. I like engines that perform so well you just stop thinking about them. Just open the throttle and it pretty much jerks the plane out of the grass. I love doing touch and goes in my planes, and that can get downright dangerous if you don't have a dependable idle and throttle response. The Valley View RC Twin 40 Classic has both of them covered easily. The amount of power this engine has is a little surprising. The RV4 has a very thick lift-making wing, but the Valley View RC Twin 40 Classic pulls it through the air just great. It's even got quite a bit of vertical. So if you're looking for an engine for virtually any 30 or 40 size airplane on the planet, you need to look at the Valley View RC 40 Twin Classic. It runs great right out of the box, has all the power you're ever going to need, and it starts easy. And it doesn't cost a whole lot. And that pretty much seals the deal for me.